always on time. This is Talk Radio 790 KABC.
It is 11:33, Peter Tilden live and late night. We got a lot to talk about. I do want to talk about the Ann Romney thing in a minute. I do want to talk about North Korea shooting up that missile that didn't do so good today. How Romney can beat Obama. We got Courtney Love in the news. Morgan Freeman denies he's marrying his granddaughter. The JetBlue pilot is, there's an update about the JetBlue pilot who went goo gaga. But let's say hi to Zuma Dogg. Hi, Zuma Dogg. Are you there?
Peter Tilden, great to be at your show. Can you hear me?
How are you? I can hear you great.
On the same show with Alfred Brooks. I'm moving up in the world, baby.
How about that? Well, you can always come down and see the show, too. You're not that far from me.
No, I'm going to come down for a surprise visit. I already talked to your producer about that. But it was great. Great to hear Dennis Hine. Yeah, Dennis Hine. Hey, the city's going bankrupt. The mayor makes a budget. We just spend money. I got no solutions, but all I know is the situation's not that positive.
That was very good. You got to slow it down a little bit, and you sound like him.
And congratulations for shuffling him off the show, realizing he offered nothing. We were getting pretty bored, so good job. You run a great tight show, Peter. And I'd like to also say Jill Stewart yesterday, fantastic. She was so on point, and the two of you together. And please, I hope you can replay that segment.
Well, I have Jill. Listen to me. I like this show. You know what? I don't like to say other shows. I don't like to compare to other shows. I will have on people with opposite points of view. I like to hear both sides. Dennis is not wrong. Dennis tries to do what he tries to do. The city council's got a big job, and I know how you feel about city council, and I know how I feel about most of the city council members down there. I just wanted to hear that isolated event, what was going on. The mayor will never come on again because I said I would rather be kicked in the nards by Beckham than having to interview the mayor because he really says nothing.
Yeah, good for you, and he offers nothing, so why have him?
It's enough. It really was too many interviews about nothing where he goes nowhere. I'm very curious to see what the budget's going to be because we're so at DEFCON 3 with the budget. I like Dennis. Dennis is a friend. I think he's really well intended. I
like him, Peter. By the way, I kid with Dennis, and we talk in the chambers, and we joke around, and he's affable. He's hard to hate. I say, Dennis, you're a hard guy to hate. But as a council member, I'm very dissatisfied with the performance as a whole.
Well, here's the deal.
About the code of conduct also.
Okay, so the code of conduct, and that's what I was saying to Dennis. So let's say this guy was disruptive, and let's say this guy was out of order. The problem is, how do you decide what's out of order? How do you decide when somebody's over the line? How do you decide when somebody's offensive? I know a lot of guys do grandstand down there. A lot of guys do waste time. A lot of guys do want TV time. On the other hand, you do have to listen to what people have to say to move the ball forward.
Of course, no elected official wants to have to endure members of the public scrutinizing him, and that's what these laws were created to protect us for. Now, there are some guidelines of which you are not allowed to say things. First of all, now I'm concerned about the interruptions that go on, and I have a federal lawsuit and will be ruled upon. The interruptions, now, if you are issuing a threat or if you are clearly off topic, then you can be interrupted. However, they will do things like interrupt me for saying, "Excuse me, can you please have more dignity?" Now, that's not measurable, and you can't interrupt for that. Maybe I feel like having a minimal amount of dignity. How do you decide that? There's been no call for any interruptions out of the hundreds of times I've been interrupted. And a lot of times afterwards, when you go in there trying to say some things, you end up getting emotional duress, and then you might have some outbursts, and then they kick you out. But that is all after the fact. So they're way overboard as far as, it's too bad. There's 4 million people, so 5 people show up to try to weigh in for the people that can't show up. And just as the city's going bankrupt because of their fraud, waste, and abuse, you got the FBI probing multiple departments for everything that they voted yes on. And so they want to turn off the cameras now. The LA Times said that they're talking about turning off the broadcast of the council meetings. Are you? Yeah, let's blame it on the gadflies.
All right, Zuma, stop, because I got to go in a minute. I got to ask you something because I haven't had you on. What is it do you want in life? I know that you're politically active. You go down there. You're on top of that stuff. A, how do you make a living? And B, what do you want? What's your goal? What's your end game?
Okay, well, it's very rough for me right now. I started to go to City Hall. What I used to do, I was a performer at Venice Beach where I would perform, and, I'd get donations. And, people like myself and Matt Dowd, we worked it pretty hard down there.
What was your act? What did you do there?
I'm a singer and performer. I was not political at all. I did comedy improv and singing and performing and, just working the crowd as a performer entertainer. And so one day the city goes, "Oh, excuse me, you can't do these things anymore." So we felt that was illegal. So just to be able to fight for our mere existence of expression and income, I thought it'd be a one-time trip to tell them that they were wrong and that they would fix it. So I had to keep going because they didn't listen, and then I got caught up in the battle.
Got it.
Because because I wasn't able to perform.
So I don't mean to interrupt, but I got a minute here. So how do you make a living now?
It's rough, baby. It's rough. Let me tell you something. There's a big controversy, bro. I'm on life or death. I barely am making it. Okay, I'm getting worse by the day. I'm barely hanging on.
All right, listen. I got to go, but.
Thank you, Wayne from Encino. He's great. He's valuable.
Listen. You want Styx tickets? They said.
Hello, Styx. I saw him in the '80s. Let me relive the magic. Thank you, KABC.
There you go. Styx, REO, and Ted Nugent at the Greek Theater, Sunday, May 6th. You got them.
Hey, Peter.
Yes.
Zuma Dogg, is it true that you're running for city council?
No, I'm running for mayor of Los Angeles after 6 years of investigating the fraud, waste, abuse, and being right all along the way. I'm here to clean up I'm here to clean up.
All right.
Nice.
Get the Styx tickets. Relive your Styx and REO night. All right, man.
Yeah, these are the best.
Wow. Okay. He's got Styx, REO, Ted Nugent, and by the way, the person sitting next to him at the concert, I apologize in advance. It's at the Greek Theater on Sunday, May the 6th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. I know him I know of him for a long time, but I never knew his story about, what he does for a living or how he does what he does for a living or how he even got politically active.
No, it all started with the.
I forgot that.
With the Venice Beach, the performers.
And by the way, I have a theory. I'm tough on the performers in Venice Beach. I would love to start a committee. Because here's the deal. You don't get to go out with your wife or your family that often. So now you save money and you go to Venice Beach. Could you tell Audrey to shut the door? Anyway, you go to Venice Beach and you're sitting there and you spend hard-earned money, right, Williams?
Right.
They're there. And you got a crappy street performer singing in front of you. I think it should be like American Idol, where there's a panel of 3 who decides if you can make the. No, I don't want to hear a bad steel drum player while I've saved money. I take my wife out. I don't want to see some crappy artist juggling dogs and puppies. I want to see somebody good, right?
Well, then you just keep walking.
No.
And eventually you'll see somebody with some talent.
No. You don't understand. You go to like the Fig Tree on Venice, okay? There's nothing happening in front of the restaurant.
Right.
You get that outside table after waiting 7 hours. You now sit your butt down at that outside table and you're looking at the ocean, and all of a sudden somebody comes up and starts singing, "I can see clearly now, the sun is..." And I got to listen to that for an hour? Really? Oh. I got to spend money to hear, "I can see clearly." They're singing horribly, or they're bad juggling and things are falling. And by the way, why is it that if you play guitar crappy, when you strap on roller skates, that makes it okay?